beautiful and beloved ones. This is Lorelei from the Tightrope to 5D Music Reactions. And if you wonder about that strange title, stick around to the end. I'm going to give you a special message about this historic shift from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness for the entire population of the planet, which has never happened before. So that's pretty cool. But first, we're going to start with Alip Bata, Hotel California. Let's see what wonder he brings us today. Here we go. I don't even know. Did you see how fast his fingers were moving there? I mean, they're just like they're on fire over there. This guy is unreal, unreal. Say, like, you notice how he gets into it. He just like really, he's not even going to start with the main crux of it until he like just plays his heart out in whatever way he's inspired to do for this particular song. Let's rewind it a little bit and go back and watch that again. Pretty cool. That's a sign of a true master, by the way. He takes the stage and he owns it with this song. At least you get to what you recognize as the song, because he just owns the song. So cool. He gets into the crux of it. You know, I never know what to make of this song. It's kind of like it's some kind of a nightmare vision or something like that, but it's also a beautiful sound to it, you know? So it's like this juxtaposition of this beautiful sound with this kind of weird, kind of funky, kind of maybe drug-induced vision, you know? So, and of course the words are running through my head, so that's why I'm saying that. By the way, don't forget now, friends, I have tiers now where I'm bringing you guys what you want. There's 3 different levels. You can see what you particularly want. So go check out my tiers. There's a little video about them. And I want to thank you, by the way, those of you who have taken advantage of the super thanks. It is much, much appreciated, and you're most welcome to help me out in that way if that inspires you. But let's continue. We're going to get hit the meat of it now. Out when he's playing. He's just so into it. Is up out of his own head. As far as I know, I don't think all that's in that song, and all that in the beginning is up out of his own head. So he just he just owns it. He makes it a whole different song. So cool. Let's go back and hear that again. Go back and hear this part, but this guy just astonishes me. I think he must have had several lifetimes playing the guitar. He must have learned several lifetimes over to play the guitar, because I've never seen anybody play the guitar so intricately as this. This is unbelievable, really. Let's go back a little bit. He's his own rhythm section too while he's at it. Let's go back and hear that last part again, because I did interrupt it a little bit. Here we go. want you to look at the back here of behind him, because I think, look, see there, look behind him. I think there's a couple of guitars hanging there, which tells me he's got several different guitars. We have to keep our eyes for that and see which one he's playing. Probably if you're a really practiced and extraordinary guitar player, each one might have a different sound to it that you'd want to bring to the particular song. So, wow, so beautiful, so wonderful. Oh, he lights me up, this guy. Well, let's see. I have to put this now on my scale. 1 being very third dimensional, fear, pain, anger, sadness, suffering. 10 being very fifth dimensional, love, peace, joy, bliss. You know, it's funny because he's not bringing the words to the song, you know. I mean, we kind of know the words in our head, a lot of us, but he's not bringing the words to the song. So if you just kind of ignore the words of the song, just the way he played it was so beautiful, so extraordinary. You know, that would put it up in the 9 something range, you know, of a 1 to 10 scale up toward fifth dimensional. Then you don't have to consider that there are some words that kind of spin in your head, and they're a little funky, and they're a little kind of like that nightmarish dream, if you will, which is good in some places and not so good in some other places. So you have to kind of take that into account too, but it's still pretty darn high. Just the way he does it, wow, brings you up, it lifts you up, it brings you higher. I almost think he can't play a song that doesn't bring you higher. This guy's just bringing such high music, high vibrational music. So I'm going to go with like an 8.5 on this one. Extraordinary. Loved it. Okay, beloved ones. So by the way, if you'd like to know a little bit about me, you can go to the About Me video here, which leads you to a longer video also about, if you want to hear about my forged in the fire of this third dimensional life that I experienced. And also, if you go to look at the notes here, you'll see there's an About Lorelei page on Patreon that tells you some of the things that I have created, such as my Detox, the Vax, and Heal Anything course. You might want it. You might want to heal. But let's now get to the fifth dimensional message here today. What is the Christ consciousness? So I have a reading for you today. I want to read for you because this is kind of extraordinary. I don't know if you've heard of the Christ consciousness, but a lot of people are talking about the Christ consciousness. Across the internet, if you start searching for it, you're going to find it. If you start looking, you're going to find videos about it. So there's a lot of people talking about this thing called the Christ consciousness. And I'm going to read to you from a particular individual, this person, Edgar Casey, who kind of sums up. Now, he's said this a long time ago, but he sums up what everybody else has been saying about it. So keep that in mind as you hear this reading. I'm going to read it to you so you can get an idea of what is this thing called the Christ consciousness. So Edgar Casey, often called the sleeping prophet, offered a unique and expansive perspective on Christ consciousness that goes beyond traditional theology and definitions. For Casey, Christ consciousness is not merely about Jesus as an individual, but a universal principle, a state of awareness, and a potential for every soul. Here are the main points of Edgar Casey's understanding of Christ consciousness. And remember what I just told you. This is not just him. There's lots and lots and lots of people saying the same thing out there and channeling this message and getting this message from their inner divine guidance and everything else. So here we go. Number one, it's a universal principle and state of awareness. It's not exclusive to Jesus. Casey taught that Christ consciousness is not limited to Jesus of Nazareth. Rather, Jesus was the perfect embodiment of and expression of this universal consciousness. He called Jesus the way shower because he demonstrated what every individual could potentially achieve. Every individual. And it's also the mind of God. Christ consciousness is seen as the mind of God, the divine pattern, or the universal awareness of oneness with the Creator and all creation. It is the perfect, unconditional love, compassion, and wisdom that emanates from the divine. And finally, it's the indwelling spirit. It's the Christ principle or Christ spirit that is potentially active within every individual. That is the spark of divinity within each soul. Now the goal, and I won't read every little bit of this, but I want to at least give you the high points. The goal of this Christ consciousness, number two, is the ascension of consciousness or the upliftment of consciousness. So we're talking about that here, from the third dimensional consciousness to the fifth dimensional consciousness. That's the goal of the Christ consciousness. And it's having achieved that state of at one-ment, meaning that you really feel at one with everyone and everything. Now, when we come at one with everyone and everything, it's a lot harder to go around hurting each other, isn't it? So it's a place where you're coming to a peace and a harmony. And 3, here's the practical application in daily life. The point is to live that Christ life. In other words, it's not just a mystical experience that you have, but it's living the practical application of universal laws: love, forgiveness, service to others, and compassion. Now, it's entailing overcoming the lower self, the ego, the selfish desires, anger, fear, judgment, and then allowing the higher divine self to express itself. And it entails the right use of free will. In other words, people can use their free will to choose whatever they want, but as they move into the Christ consciousness, it's using your free will to choose to align with the divine will. So to choose to follow, to follow things that are not the ego-driven path, but the divine path. You see? And finally, 4, for manifestation and healing, you get, when you align with that Christ consciousness, you get a creative power. You tap into the creative power of the universe. And also understanding the universal laws and living by those universal spiritual laws, like the law of grace and the law of love and the law of forgiveness. These things are essential to cultivate that consciousness. So once you're cultivating that consciousness, like anything is possible, once you are tapping into that consciousness and being and living that Christ consciousness, literally anything is possible. And this is why Jesus could walk around healing other people. One thing, they believed in him, and the second thing, because he was living and being that Christ consciousness, and then the universal power, the power of the divine, the power of God, the power of the creator of everything could come right through him and heal others. And they believed it, so they took this healing. So this is the walking on water. That's part of the Christ consciousness. When you get to a high enough level, you literally can overcome the very physical universe, reality here. This I won't even say universe, this planet, our physical planet, the laws, what we say are the laws of nature, can be overcome when one achieves that Christ consciousness. And that's really what we're doing here when we talk about moving from a third dimensional consciousness to a fifth dimensional consciousness. We're taking on that higher, what we would call, for lack of a better word, Christ consciousness. And that is uplifting us, and it's uplifting the entire planet to this wonderful place, the place that, if you can imagine a whole world of Jesuses walking around. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine a world of people as loving, as compassionate, as kind, as giving, as miraculous, as heart-centered, as able to perform miracles, a whole world of that. All of us. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I think it is, I'll tell you what. And that's actually, this shows up in my life, because even as we speak, I have learned how to heal using the Christ consciousness, using natural methods, and working with my divine inner God power. I've learned to heal myself and help others to heal as well. So this is happening, folks. This is a no kidding kind of thing. So, okay, I hope that brings you a little bit of upliftment today. And I'm going to send you that fifth dimensional energy, the love, the peace, the joy, the oneness, the unity, the harmony. That's important. Coming at you now. Namaste. I honor the God in you.